What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another video. I'm BouseFeenux, and today, in continuing the 5 Underrated Things mini-series, we're going to be taking a look at what I think are 5 underrated Warframes. Now, this list is purely opinion-based and in no particular order, so just sit back and enjoy the video. Also, if you missed the previous episodes, you can check those out as well. Anyway, on with the show. Our first Warframe on the list should come as no surprise, seeing as she was statistically one of the least picked frames of all time. That Warframe is Banshee. Banshee is a Warframe based around the unique mechanic of sound and aural distraction to bring down her foes, which can be extremely powerful given the correct circumstances. Banshee is a frame with massive untapped damage potential and decent crowd control skill that admittedly I think could be a little bit stronger. She falls short, however, in the survivability department. With hardly any armor to speak of and poor health and shield scaling, it's going to be tough to keep her alive for the high level content she has the potential to excel in. Hopefully soon, this Warframe gets a rework because I think with the right amount of tweaks, she could surely be devastating on the battlefield. You guys like dragons, right? Cool, because the next frame is basically the embodiment of one. Enter Chroma, the dragon frame with a surprisingly cool ability to change the utility of his powers based on his energy color. Essentially how this works is that depending on your energy color, you'll get one of several elements added to your abilities that produce different effects when used. This is fairly nifty, and there aren't any Warframes that have any type of mechanic like this. Depending on your energy color, Chroma can serve a myriad of purposes. For example, I'm playing an ice tank build in this footage that increases my armor and damage output when I take damage to my health and shields, and these bonuses are incredible. The armor buff can make you all but invincible in most situations, and the damage output can pretty much make any weak weapon amazingly powerful. I feel Chroma has a hard time getting into games because he can be pretty confusing to mod for, and depending on what you're doing, he almost fills a very specific role in most cases. It's because of this that most players just tend to overlook him. Moving on to our next frame, we'll be taking a look at what I like to call the Master Chief of Warframe. I mean, look at the guy. He basically looks like the flagship Spartan from the Halo series. Anyway, his name is Vauban, and in my opinion, since his rework recently, he's become extremely useful in just about any situation as a fantastic crowd control Warframe. He does have some damage dealing abilities, but honestly, they don't scale well, and if I had to guess, I'd say that's why I don't see him very often. People want Warframes that kill stuff and forget that crowd control and support type frames can be just as valuable in a mission as damage frames. That being said, he can be a little awkward to learn at first, but once you get his abilities down, you'll be surprised to find that he can actually be a lot of fun to play. If you ask anyone that's been playing this game for any period of time what they think of Zephyr, they'll probably respond with something along the lines of, she needs a rework. And while they're not entirely wrong, I feel like if used correctly, Zephyr can be pretty devastating in a lot of situations. For example, her ability Turbulence is one of the best tank abilities in the game, as it pretty much negates any incoming projectile damage. If you pair it with a Turbulence augment, you also get increased movement and weapon projectile speed. That last part is key though, as it turns Zephyr from just being a mere tank into a damage-dealing monster with the right weapon. Case in point, I'm using the Tonkor right now, and you'd be surprised at how overpowered this thing is with increased projectile flight speed. Additionally, if your Tonkor has the Terminal Velocity mod equipped, the grenades will explode on the impact of any surface. This basically turns you into Pharah from Overwatch, and honestly, I find this combo amazingly fun to use for survivals or exterminates if I'm playing solo. I feel like she misses the pick a lot because people interpret her value on the battlefield though. And what I mean by that is that they just want tornadoes to do more damage. Our last frame is one I recently talked about in one of my videos. She's incredibly annoying to farm and even more so to build, but if you can get past that, you'll have a Warframe with theoretically the highest damaging ability in the game that's more than capable of deleting entire rooms of enemies from your computer screen. This frame in question here is none other than Equinox. Equinox is another frame with a confusingly unique ability wherein she has two different sides to her, essentially giving you two frames in one. She has the day side and the night side, and both are fairly powerful in their own right. I play Equinox pretty much exclusively in day form for those wondering because of the insane damage output she's capable of. Not only that, but this power works almost like Banshee's silence in the sense that walking into enemies unaffected by Mend and Maim will be stunned for a short duration while they take a slash proc, much like how enemies affected by Banshee's silence are stunned for a second as well. This gives you a split second of crowd control to take out any enemies that may have gotten the drop on you. Also, as if massive damage output weren't enough, Equinox also has a fairly awesome buff that increases power strength for nearby allies, which can make for some exceptional group play synergies. I feel like Equinox misses the pick a lot of times though, because A, she looks kinda weird, and B, she can be a little overwhelming for a lot of new players to get into. If you can see past all that though, your team will thank you for bringing such a powerful asset to the fight. And that's gonna do it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Before I end this video though, I want to give my massive thanks to all of you that showed up to check out my live stream on Twitch yesterday. I had a blast playing the Pokemon TCG online with some of you, and I can't wait to hop back on that again. If you play the Pokemon TCG and want to battle sometime, hit me with a friend request. My IGN is BouseFeenux, just like my channel name, and I'm pretty much always playing. Anyway, if you learned something from this video, or just found it to be entertaining, don't forget to leave a like down below because it helps out a ton, and if you're new here, consider subscribing so I can get more Pokemon cards. I might be addicted. Until next time though, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you at the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.